Hello everyone! Today in this video, Dom and I break down SmackDown in Chicago. We talk a little Vince McMahon and we discuss Sasha Banks.
Let's get to the much hyped Chicago episode of SmackDown. What's our top story here, John? Don't bury the lead.
Agreed. You don't ever want to bury the lead. We're going right to the big story all the time on this show. And gotta go ahead and say it's probably going to be the show on December 30th when John Cena returns.
Yep.
And Kevin Owens will face Roman Reigns and Sami Uso. That's got to be the lead. And I was hoping to have a really awesome main event tonight, but that didn't happen. But they're giving us a little bit here. What did you think about what went down in the main event, which was a promo setting us up for the show in late December? I'm not sure the date exactly.
This time of year, it looks like the WWE is trying to balance hype and delivering with its TV shows. Last week, you and I both noticed there was a lot of hype for this Chicago show, which would have been a very Vince McMahon thing to do. You know, Chicago, the home of arch nemesis CM Punk, and one of the real strong regions and cities for competitor AEW. So this would have been a very Vince McMahon thing to stack a SmackDown live show coming into Chicago. And we got some of that, but only 3 matches tonight. This was a show that I mean, pretty good matches. One match, which I think was the match of the year so far, year for us is 3 months, but one match that I think was match of the year. So pretty good matches, but only 3 of them. You know, they go from setting us up for a huge Chicago card to spinning it into hype for what seems to be a Tampa card on December 30th, when we're going to see Roman Reigns. And let's not jump the gun here. We don't know if he's Sami Uso yet. We were supposed to get that tonight. We don't know. It's Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn for the time being versus Kevin Owens and John Cena. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, these are pretty active wrestlers. John Cena, and they hinted at this in his vignette there that closed the show. John Cena looks like he's doing this just because he has some sort of streak to keep alive of wrestling at least once per calendar year. And he hasn't wrestled in 2020 yet for WWE. So they might as well cram it in there at the end. Let's unpack that a little bit, because you saw me grimace there on camera. This went from what should be a great match with real feud breakdowns and clashes and maybe resolutions going on to now it's a gimmick match for a guy who doesn't really wrestle anymore.
Yeah, and
what's going on there?
There was a few things that were real wonky about this. He wasn't there in Chicago, so he wasn't even there to be like, I'm John Cena, I'm here, and get that big pop from the crowd. We gotta
imagine that entrance if he appeared at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, that would have really added a lot to it. But instead, and hey, listen, I don't want to trash Zoom calls because we kind of do a show through camera.
We're modern people. We're video conferencing. We got the rectangles up.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can I share my screen? Can you see me? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
It works.
It works. But, you know, in that live setting, it kind of went over pretty flat as he sort of delivered what almost seemed like a pre-recorded vignette.
Yeah.
And he was being really goofy because now he's a comedian. So, like, he's kind of like he's in silly comedy movies, like slapstick ones. So he's acting like real crazy and talking very strange and bizarre. It's like, so we got a really strange thing from Cena. And I also am like, you're in Chicago. This is the third biggest city in America. And you're pumping something in Tampa, which is just such a weird, not really known for pro wrestling. Oh,
No.
we'll do it in Tampa, Florida. Like the build in Chicago, which is known, obviously, is a big staple for not only AEW, but the U.S. Midwest, like the biggest city in the Midwest.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
they're like, we'll be down in Tampa, which isn't even like the top city in Florida, So I just thought it was a strange thing from a geographical standpoint. Why wouldn't you do the big, awesome card in Chicago? And then why are you pumping it for Tampa, which is a strange city to pump it for?
Let's go back to something you just mentioned. Cena appears on the video board there. Here's what that doesn't allow us to see at home, whether or not the live crowd is really into it.
Yeah.
Because if Cena comes out at the top of the ramp because he's in Chicago, then you can see whether or not the crowd is into that announcement. And maybe that's why they don't do it. I mean, there's probably logistical reasons, like why fly in John Cena to talk for 2 minutes when he's supposed to be a surprise. If he flies into Chicago, then the surprise is broken if you're trying to keep it a surprise. But at the same time, we can't witness as viewing audience what the live crowd thought of that reveal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how excited to be about this. I think I was a little more excited when it was Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and we don't know. Could it be someone on the active roster, someone else who could set up a program with Reigns? And maybe that's the plan here. Is they want Cena to come back sometime next year, and they want to set up something where Cena is going to face Reigns for the title. Maybe this is a WrestleMania tease. It could be a lot. I mean, when John Cena's involved, it could be almost anything. He's in Rock territory now, where you don't know what they're using him for, but it's the kind of thing where if they just save him for one huge mega show on a pay-per-view, WrestleMania, it could work at this point. We got a little bit of old school Cena at the end there. He's doing the rhymes like old rapping Cena. Remember, he started as a rapper. He gave us a little Cena Claus is coming to town rap at the end. So, there's a little nostalgia there for longtime John Cena fans who remember him pre-movie and pre everybody's favorite, Vince McMahon's Perfect Champion phase.
When he was doing the rapper gimmick, when he was like Thug Life and he was heel. And
he was Vanilla Ice, Eminem. They were playing off of that. It's like, okay, here's the white rapper from Boston.
It was really not a bad gimmick. Pretty
no,
good.
It wasn't terrible. And hey, everybody's got a past.
Yeah, right. And yeah,
Kevin Nash has Oz. Sting and the Ultimate Warrior have the Blade Runners. I mean, everybody's got a pass. John Cena's got, rapping Eminem Vanilla Ice ripoff guy. It's there. He doesn't hide it. It served him well, and he built a huge career using that as a jumping off point. But hey, this little bit of nostalgia. He can still spit.
Yeah, he can. He did something tonight. I thought, one thing I do have to notice though, because I always like a match in the main event, when the Bloodline come out and they do their big entrance, it is always really cool.
Yes.
With the theme song, with Heyman carrying both the belts as, the wise man, as he's now known, but, he's called Heyman, and he's got both the belts, and there's just the slew of lackeys behind Roman Reigns. Roman just looks like $1 million next to everybody. So I do like the main event. I would rather have a match. I would rather have something to build up to, but I do like the main event being those guys because they're really good.
Not in the WWE. What should I know about Sasha Banks?
So Sasha Banks walked out of WWE. She was the tag champion. Uh, Went into the office and threw the belt, packed her bags, and left about 6 months ago. Michael Cole went on to SmackDown and directly addressed it, which was really Vince yelling in his ears. And he said, Sasha Banks disappointed us all. She walked out on all the WWE universe and all this stuff, which made it feel like it was a work. But no, she really did just walk out. And she has signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So a top star from WWE is angry and signs with New Japan Pro Wrestling. She'll be in their big show Wrestle Kingdom, which is like their WrestleMania. So
Okay.
she will be, at least this is kind of rumors that are floating around. She'll be on Wrestle Kingdom, and it's a big story, I'd say, because it just shows the power that the wrestlers now have, where they're strong enough other competitors against WWE. For example, WWE might do like 2 million views for SmackDown, but AEW does 1 million on Wednesday for Dynamite, which is like
Mm-hmm.
they're not too far behind. They're really right there.
No.